Welcome to the Nagual Zone. I'm Anaam. Last week, I did a video on impeccability, one of the most important topics for the Toltec warrior. And in that video, I explained what impeccability really is. What does it entail? This video, I want to tell you how to be impeccable. What is the one thing? What are some of the chief characteristics of someone who is impeccable? Now, the first one, anyone who is really impeccable. Now, I'm not meaning impeccable in, their profession. When you get paid, money suddenly makes amazing warriors out of everyone who comes along. Give them enough money and they have incentive to become impeccable. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about impeccable in your life. Impeccable in your life. Go ahead and check out that previous video where you will get a background of what impeccability really is, because it's not easily understood. Everyone thinks they know, but there's more to that word than meets the eye, right? How to be impeccable. You got to understand, if you can understand this one principle I'm going to tell you, you will automatically become an impeccable person over time. So practice this one thing I'm going to tell you. What is the paradigm that says, what more can I do versus what's the least I can get away with? I'm going to repeat that. What's the least I can get away with versus what more can I do? Now, can you see where impeccability lies? Which one of them, which one of that mindset is the warrior's mindset? You see, the warrior is constantly aware. It's an awareness thing. You don't have to remember it because you repeated it so often. If I was to ask you what the alphabet is in your native language, whatever it may be, English, Spanish, you'd read it off just like that. Why is that? You weren't born with it. No one's born with that shit. You have to learn it. And you were made to repeat it so relentlessly that all these years later, you don't have to practice it. You don't have to remember it. You can just reel off the alphabet. The numbering system, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, blah, 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 blah. It's the same stuff. It was relentlessly repeated. That's all it is. Impeccability can be learned exactly like you learned counting. I've always failed to understand what the mystique and all the esoteric nonsense is about all this. I really do. It's very simple. Just repeat. Just repeat it. You learned the alphabet, didn't you? So it's the same principle. I don't know why people make all this so esoteric, and if you ask them, do you know what impeccability is? Yes, I know, or no, I don't know. And it's like, well, it's very simple. It's not hard, but you haven't really bothered to apply it in your life and repeat it a million times. You see what I mean? So if you can repeat this paradigm, what more can I do in everything? How better can I do it? What more can I bring to the game? What more can I do? Oh, I would like to open up a YouTube channel. Okay, what more could you do to make it better? To make it even better and even better. Be more and more impeccable with it. You see how impeccability works? The sad part is that most of us live out the other way. What's the least I can get away with? What's the least I can get away with in my job? What's the least I can get away with in my relationships? Right? You know where that comes from, and it's a natural consequence. It's not, there are people who are lazy. Most people are fat and lazy. It really is true. Fat and lazy. Now, laziness doesn't mean lack of hard work. People don't understand what laziness is. Laziness isn't lack of hard work. In the Toltec warriors' terms, laziness is lack of intelligent repetition. You can have a lot of fat, lazy people who work very hard, and that's their big life story. I work so hard for my paycheck. I work so hard. Ooh, life, I work so hard. Yeah, but you're lazy. At least according to the Toltec warriors' understanding. Right? Anyone who's lost weight and gone back to their balanced weight level, for example, they will tell you of the journey they've had to do. And not a moment of that they could afford to be lazy. So in this day and age, the white man's Romanized world has become so twisted and sick that people will do anything to justify anything. All these SJWs and just nonsense. If you're fat, you need to lose weight, mate. You're gonna get sick. Fat isn't doing you any favors. What's the problem in acknowledging that? I really don't understand. Why would you rather justify your sickness and twistedness, your aberrant mind, justify it, instead of doing something about it that is constructive and productive for you? You'll be the one to benefit. You see how impeccable that is? What's the least I can get away with? Lie to myself and create a whole culture around me. Toxify the whole world with your SJW and all sorts of nonsense that comes out of there. How can you become impeccable? By asking, what more can I do? Now here's the rub. Most people don't like a lot of their life. Most of their life, people don't like. They don't like themselves, they don't like their wife, their kids, their house, their job, what they eat, what they don't eat, their paycheck. Most people are walking problems. You've got a problem with everything in your life, which makes you desperately miserable. Now we have a miserable person. Naturally, what will their mentality be like? Naturally, they will want to do the least they can get away with about everything. What's the least I can get away with? So what happens is you get a vicious circle. You have a loser who hates everything about their life, or maybe they like a couple of things, if that, about their life. And those couple of things are toxic, like alcohol or cigarettes or going down the pub and watching footy with your mates to get away from your unhappy life, getting drunk over the weekend, taking drugs. It's all just trying to escape unhappiness. A miserable spirit, and a toxic, miserable mentality. What's the least I can get away with? What happens is that person manifests two things. They start lying, chronic liars, first and foremost to themselves. They start lying. And secondly, they don't engage in life. What do they instead do? What's the least I can get away with? Now you have aberrations of this. You'll have someone who hates their life, so they'll pour everything into their work. Now they're overcompensating on the other side. It's the same problem, but they'll overcompensate on the other side. They're not being impeccable. You're not being impeccable by turning up early to work and leaving very late after, and everyone's so impressed with your work, and you're just burning yourself into the ground. That's all you're doing. You're not being impeccable. There's no balance in your life. You do that to escape so that you don't have to go home. That's why you do it. So that you don't have to go home and face your reality there. That's why you do it. So don't kid yourself. Don't lie to yourself that you're some kind of impeccable worker drone. You're not. There's no power in that lifestyle. Running away doesn't create power. Escapism doesn't create power. And it certainly won't make you impeccable. What more can I do comes out of a generosity of spirit, a spirit that understands its own power. You understand how powerful you are and how impactful your life is, and you want to do more. What more can I do? How better can I wash these dishes right now? Instead of how quickly can I wash these dishes, and my mind is already racing to the next bit. Oh, I'm going to go to the movies and then going to do that and get drunk and whatever else swims through people's heads. Or coping with the children, the demands of the mating instinct, blah, 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 blah. What's the least I can get away with so I can move into the non-existent future in my head? Why not stay here and engage yourself, engage your spirit into this moment and bring the best of you to bear on this moment? Why not try that? That is the warrior's way, the Toltec warrior's way. The Toltec warrior brings the best of themselves into each moment and then asks, what more can I do? What more can I do? Oh, I had a great workout today. You know what? Let's crank out 5 more push-ups right now, just for the hell of it, because I love it so much. That will create a champion. You see? Again, we have to be discerning. We can't just become... It's not about tyrannizing yourself into ever-increasing hard work. It's not... That's not what is being discussed here. It is a paradigm, a way to be that creates power within you, that makes you a little bit scary to your friends and family, those who know you, because they know that this guy doesn't do anything half-assed. If they're gonna jump into the fray, if this task goes to this person, they can be rest assured that it will be done on time, well done, and it will be of a quality that is unimpeachable, impeccable quality. That person will bring their all to it, no matter what it is. No matter if your wife said, hey, could you go walk the dog today? I'm not feeling well. Okay, great. What more can I do? What more can I do? How can I make this an even better? Instead of grumble, oh, I always have to walk the dog. Whatever grumbles people have, oh, she's always blah, blah, blah. Turn that bullshit around and ask, okay, great, let's do this. What more can I do? Maybe I can be present as I walk. Maybe I can take some deep breaths as I walk. Maybe I can learn to throw the ball faster and higher for the dog to catch. Maybe I can improve myself somehow. Grumble. Oh, she's so fat, always eats chocolate at night. Yeah, what do you do then? All these problems you've got against yourself and the world, turn it around and ask yourself, how can I make this better? What more can I do to increase the quality of my moment? That's what a warrior behaves like. And I want to bring this to you because that is the way to be impeccable. Impeccable. And create a life for yourself that is full of impact and power for yourself and for those around you so that they get inspired. And you know what else it does? It makes you trustworthy. It makes you reliable. Because people around you know that if I hand this task or ask this person to do something and they say yes, I can absolutely forget about it. I don't have to worry about that task anymore because it's in good hands. There's no grumbling. There's no cursing. You do the best and you bring even better into the mix. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So what more can I do versus the least I can get away with? Hate your job? Either change it, right? You don't like your job, you don't like your boss, you don't like this, you don't like that, got problems? Either change, step away from the problem, which means create a change somehow, or stop whining and do the best you can there and see how you can make it even better. Use that situation to create power for yourself instead of grumbling. It is hard. It really is. I will tell you, grumbling is the easy way out. And man, it's easy to do. The hard bit is to turn that, it's the same energy. You're still using energy, right? Is to turn that into impeccability. It's not easy. I'm really telling you. As warriors, we have to die 1,000,000 deaths to just gain a little bit of knowledge, self-knowledge, and to change ourselves and to become an impeccable person. You have to die 1,000,000 deaths every day. You have to pay the dues to get there. It's not easy. No one should pretend it's easy. No one should tell you that it's easy or it's simple. Nothing about it is simple or easy. It is sacrificing your spirit again and again on the altar of impeccability. You just have to give your all, and you have to be able to see the value in impeccability to be able to do this, to pay the cost. You have to be able to see the value in yourself, that you are valuable enough, that you matter enough, that you are unique and you have the potential to have an incredible life. But that incredible life requires certain payments. And those payments do not come in the form of the currency of laziness, lack of intelligent repetition, lack of stamina. You can't pay with those things and expect, power as a reward. It doesn't happen. You have to pay in terms of learning to be more and more impeccable, learning, the payment system is different. The payment system is different for the warriors. We pay in a very different kind of currency to gain the rewards that we want. And we are very strategic about it. We are very patient about it. Give yourself 5 years, 10 years to become the kind of person that is always radiating the paradigm. What more can I do? What more can I do? How can I make this even better? In another video, I forget which one it was, I introduced to people the paradigm, leave things better than you found them. Now tell me if that's not impeccability. To leave things better than you found them. To leave your thoughts better than you find them. Leave your thoughts better than you find them. Tell me if that's not treating your mind impeccably. Leave your body better than you found it in the morning. When you go to bed at night, you look back and you go, my body is better than I found it this morning. I worked out, I did this. And by the way, working out doesn't mean going to the gym. Gyms and hospitals are two of the most destructive places you can ever go to tyrannize your body. Stay away from those things and go back to the ancient knowledge. Go back to calisthenics. Go back to gymnastics, body weight exercises, animal exercises. I can write an encyclopedia on just holistic fitness. It's not a problem because I've spent the last 30 years making my body into what it is now, where it's a friend to me and it's a powerful ally. Why? Because I've treated myself impeccably. I value myself. So can you learn to value yourself. Anyone who has self-esteem problems, self-esteem issues, doesn't value themselves, which sadly is the average man's horrific nightmare, the nightmarish world of the machine mind, the average man's world, is based on lack of self-esteem, a slave mind, slave body and a drone worker that knows only how to work for the machine, nothing else. So we have that, right? But impeccability cannot be found there, because you have to learn to appreciate yourself. You have to learn to understand that you are valuable. Able to value yourself. Valuable, valuable. You're valuable. If you get that sense within you, that I matter, I am valuable, what more can I do to bring more quality into my moments, each moment? You see how that works? You see how that creates a holistic cycle of energy flow within you? Sadly, as I said, the average man's world is suffering, is utterly sick. It's suffering from exact opposite. Don't feel good enough. Unhappy with everything, unhappy with children, life, job, wife, mother, father, and just unhappy with damn everything, right? Miserable. Naturally, that person is not going to want to engage in life, and they will want to do the least they can get away with. It's natural. You can't blame that person. They just don't want to, it's a powerless way to live. So take inspiration from this video, and if you can just get this one point and turn it into your favor, it will require everything you've got to give to turn yourself into someone who says, what more can I do to bring more quality and awareness and high quality into my moment? And the moment you underestimate yourself and start pretending you are better than you really are, right, is the moment you will fail at being impeccable. I promise you this. It's a guarantee. So stay honest. Be honest with yourself. Assess yourself brutally honestly. Don't kid yourself. Don't lie to yourself. There's no need. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Least of all to yourself. You don't need to prove anything to yourself. You don't need to compete with yourself or your best friends or anyone else. Simply focus on being in this moment. In this moment. In this moment. And now, how can I experience this moment to an even more high quality degree? What more can I do? In the simplest of tasks, create that mindset in you and see how your life changes. 99% of your grumbling, mumbling, groaning, complaining, whining, it'll disappear. Automatically, you won't have to stop it. It'll disappear automatically, because impeccability will replace all that wasted energy. Right? Hope this makes sense. I hope it makes sense. These things make perfect sense to me, because it's been 20 years since I've been living like this. So these are second nature to me. Sometimes I feel like, obviously everyone knows this. Why am I even talking about it? But then I get feedback, and it's, people really benefit from such things which are obvious on this side. You see how that works? So I hope this is valuable for you, and hope one day you can be the kind of person to whom these things are totally obvious. And because you've spent a lifetime living like that, it doesn't even occur to you that that's something special. Be that person. Make yourself into that person through sheer intelligent repetition over decades, and watch what happens. Watch what happens to you. Watch. You'll be amazed and delighted at the magic in your life, the power that your body radiates. You'll be amazed. With that, let me know in the comments what you think of this video. Walk in freedom. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.